What's up, guys? So we're going to talk about this Zeffo launch here. I know we've had a bunch of videos about this, but we've been doing a lot of experimenting, and I recently found a consistent way for me to make this work. I know Vesper has a few different ways, 60 FPS way. I've been working on getting that consistently, but to the point where getting different outcomes. We can't figure out exactly what makes you get the distance properly, the proper height. Still messing around with that. Vesper's got it pretty solid, and we don't really know what he's doing. But anyways, we're going to talk about a different version of this launch, which is super consistent, and it's basically foolproof. It's obviously not as fast as the 60 FPS version where we load directly onto the slide, but if you're looking for something consistent to skip the fans and still shave a bunch of time off of Zeffo, this is it. So we're gonna do this launch on 45 FPS, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in the corner and I'm gonna chain dash, look up, and then jump. And you kind of want to be, the chain dashing is going to put you in the right location. Might get an upward launch, which is kind of rare on 45 FPS, but usually you go through, and I'm having trouble. You want to aim more to the right, where as Vesper said in his video, count set is like over here. And I'm also looking up when I do this launch. So I'm going to chain dash and then jump, and when I get in the right spot, it's going to work. I'm doing a poor job of actually executing the launch, but I promise, guys, it works. Are we on 60, man? 45? I mean, because this should not be happening. Aiming a little bit to the right. See, I'm hitting this in a geometry. Never struggled with this as much in my life before, but we'll get it. Don't worry. There we go. And you're gonna land here every single time. When you clip through, you're going to land here every single time. There is no void outs. Worst case scenario, you go up in the air, which is, honestly, I've been doing this a lot, and I haven't had any problems going straight up in the air with this version. And then you're here, and so there's a loading trigger over here that you can load in the area with, or you can go run along this here and load in the slide, which this should respawn me on top of the slide right there. I messed it up a little bit, but ideally you want to land like on the slide itself without voiding out there. But yeah, so you're gonna skip the fans. You're gonna save a bunch of time there. It takes about a minute because you have to go. Let me just change my FPS back to 120. I'll show you the rest of the way. You're gonna have to go this way. You're gonna still have to do these TLJs, and we're gonna have to go the old way. TLJ, and you know, unfortunately we can't climb the slide, so we can't have to go around. See if I can not get hit by a fucking rocket or a scaz. Nice, we did it. We did it, boys. Well, TLJ up here, rolling up the hill, and I might screw this up. Ideally, what you want to do here is you want to get up to the top, this spot right here, and we're going to do a falling dash with a block, and we're going to go into photo mode here, and then a couple times toggle it, and we're going to load into this room right here, and then we are going to go about our early tomb skip the way we would do it if we had done the actual YOLO launch. And come up here and actually ride out all the way to the end of this platform, jump down here, And now there are two options you have here. Come up this ramp here. Switch to 120. We are on 120 already. And you can TLJ up here, grab this, or there's also a launch down here. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this ram so he's not in my way and I'm not in combat. Story mode, rams are serious business. So you can do this launch on a few different FPSs. I'm gonna do it on 120, but basically you're gonna want to be in this spot right here and do a launch like that up on top of here. So you have two options there to do a TLJ, which is kind of annoying because sometimes Cal, number one, it's high. Sometimes Cal doesn't like to grab that ledge. So that launch is an option. It's a little bit slower and you kind of get stuck in combat, and the lilacs kind of get in the way a little bit. And there's also an easier variation of this TLJ where you can come over to this rock over here and do a TLJ up onto this. It's much lower and it's much easier to do the TLJ there. You get up here, and then once we get up here, we are just jumping down into the elevator and traveling down to the tomb, and that is it. Again, it's a little bit slower, and by a little bit I mean it's quite a bit slower than doing it the YOLO way, loading directly onto the slide, but loading directly onto the slide is a little difficult. So let's see if we can show my version of just chain dashing into the corner on 60 FPS and see what we get, because we've got a few different outcomes there as well. With my setup, works really well. Vesper seems to have it down really well, and he's not using my setup. He has a little bit of a different one, and still can't figure out exactly what we're doing differently.
Let's go, BD1.
So for 60 FPS, let me check my frames. I'm in the corner, do some chain dashes, jump, and I like to angle my camera up. You do 2 or 3 chain dashes if I can. And sometimes again you'll get vertical launches, which is normal. And I didn't time my jump properly. Here we go. I think we are good. I think we are good. We might be high. Sometimes you go high, sometimes you go low. And sometimes that happens. I missed the loading trigger. Actually, we got it. We loaded directly into this room, which is fucking awesome. That is a very, very rare occurrence that happens right there. But that is the 60 FPS version. And that is a mega giga time save right there. Straight into the early tomb here. And again, we come here. And we'll try and do, gonna menu for this because I can't TLJ on 60 FPS. And grab up here, and that was a perfectly executed TLJ up onto that platform, which doesn't always happen. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we are constantly working on improving this skip and getting it down to a science, but we're still not quite there yet. So if you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful, feel free to drop comments down in the section below, ask questions, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.